we want to assure residents that we'll run a town council that's transparent and accountable. And they can rest assured that they've got that already. In fact, what we want to do is surpass PAP's run town council on transparency and accountability. And one way that we can do that is to tell them things that we want to achieve what, by when. So we've listed out some of the things that we want to milestones that we'll be getting at by the first, say, 100 days. Right? And the other thing is that at some point, when the dust settles, we want to be able to conduct elections within Bukit Batok itself. Because then that really helps the whole idea of getting Singaporeans, residents, to be part of the community. Because once you feel that you have this say, you feel that the community belongs to you. Right? And this is where I think that vision you were saying, that will just kind of transmit throughout Singapore. And that's just got to be something that Singaporeans, our future, must have, right? For people to want to buy in and feel that sense of loyalty. More than just buildings, shiny buildings and roads and parks. Those are important, don't get me wrong. But there's something about the Singapore spirit that we must begin to cultivate. And we want to do it starting with the
You need government funding to realize your vision. How is that possible?
You use the word government. You didn't use the word PAP. That's a difference, right? Government applies to all residents, right? It's not just in our constituency will do that, and not our constituency will do that. And I think Jasmine was telling me that Ms. Grace Fu has already said that. I think in some of the other constituencies and the WP constituency have said that as well. No matter who wins that government, is that funds must be dissipated, must be dispersed, even and we welcome that.
Sir, what are the 3 key projects you intend to implement if you win this by-election?
The first one we really feel that's so important would be our classroom program. If you come with me sometimes to take a look at some of the things that happen on the elderly, even if they're not abject poor, they don't live the kind of quality of lives. In the 4 weeks, I just started and there were 2 suicides. And then in Straits Times itself, you reported there was an increase in the number of elderly committing suicide, right? I think that the number was 60% jump from 2011, 2010 to the present. Okay? And this is where it concerns us, the kinds of the quality of life. And there's another report saying that they don't want to die alone. My friends, this is where we boast of all this infrastructure, but then we cannot take care of our elderly. We can't take care of all of Singapore. We have the opportunity to take care of the elderly, to give them that quality of life, right? So that's what we want to do. And you can only do, I can tell you that there's no other way but do it on a full-time basis. That's my point that I want to make. The second is, for the youth, right? We send them to school. We make them memorize all their subjects as well. And then they come back, what do they have? More mugging? No. Our future will be trying to develop a more creative society, innovative. That's what in Bukit Batok we have the opportunity to do. When they come home from school, they can find a place that they can come to. Even just to have friends around them, people to listen to, and then begin to get them to nurture their creative impulses, get them to read, develop that joy of reading, and then prepare them for our future. Those are things that's so important. And then for the low income, we want to also be able to start tuition centers that we can begin to help them and give them a leg up. Third project is something which, in the current situation, it is hugely important, and that is dollars and cents, right? You're going to get more and more people getting retrenched onto council. First is that I'll get into Parliament and push for the retrenchment insurance scheme, because when you get retrenched, right, your bills don't stop. Your income may stop, but that they need some shock absorber to be able to continue with what they need to do, right? But at the local level, we want to be able to counsel, to be able to provide some kind of helping them, giving them advice and such. financial planning and so on and so forth. And then we'll take it from there. But I think these are things, the project that's hugely important because as we go forward in the next few months, you're going to see retrenchment pilot. So these are things that we want to achieve for Bukit Batok, and we will continue to try.
You've met grassroots people in the past couple of weeks. What's your feeling?
Well, we feel very, very positive right now. If you were at the MRT station, you sense that people want change, and not just change for the sake of it, but change to want to see an MP I mentioned earlier on, that they can identify with, that they can feel proud, and not just say, oh, I've got this problem, meet the people session when I go to the city. But on a daily basis, to see that you're part of the community, and not just somebody that kind of comes in, on a weekend and then try to smile and shake hands and say, but so these are the things that I can feel from residents, and hopefully that will translate into success.
Okay, lastly, when and where will you be having your first public rally?
We don't know yet. That will have to depend on the police telling us where the venue is, and we'll have to ballot for rally sites.
Okay, member of the press, I know you all have a lot of questions. We have 9 days.
Thank
so
you,
please
everybody.
excuse us. We have to rush back for office for meeting.